It feels so good to be back. Lady, and gentlemen, introduce. He's back. Gucci greatness. The Fabergé fiend got a new egg. Dr. Strip, Ryan O'Flanagan, back in LA after Midwest Madness Tour 2025. Ooh, do I have some tales? I mean, it was fine. We'll see if who knows if this will be just, if I can talk about the whole ass tour, or if this is just going to be a part one. We'll see. You guys will see. I'm going to try to talk for like an hour. And then the boys are coming over. I haven't seen the boys in over a whole week. The boys Jack wants to watch Captain America. Captain America Brave New World. I said no. I said, hey, you guys can come over. I got an Amazon Fire Stick with a hack. I can watch any movie in the world. So come on over. I got that I paid $100 for a VPN situation. My barber hooked me up. My barber told me how to do this. And I said, we can watch any movie in the world. Jack goes, you got Captain America Brave New World? I said, brother, I'm 36. Ain't no way I'm watching Captain America. I said we can watch any movie in the world. So who knows what we'll watch. Anyway, the boys are coming over, okay? Jack and Nick are coming over, okay? So you guys need to you're going to get an hour of my time. Maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Maybe 2.5 through 3 hours. We'll see, but I'll cut it off at some point. The following podcast contains lasers that may trigger seizures in photosensitive viewers or just cowards. Viewer discretion is advised. This is Laser Show.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
Oh yeah, welcome to episode 30-something of Laser Show. I forgot to check what episode this is. You know what? Let me just go to buzzsprout.com and I can tell you right now. This is, don't tell me it's all out of whack now. 36. Okay, so this is episode 37 of Laser Show. I am your host, Gucci Greatness, the Fabergé Fiend, Dr. Drip, Ryan O'Flanagan. Just got back just a mere day and a half ago from my famed Midwest Madness Tour. Good grief. That was a long ass time. Thank you to everyone who came to the shows, which isn't many of you. Nah, just kidding. There was some shows had a whole bunch of people. It was really cool. Got off to a real hot start. Yeah, I did a little Midwest tour. For those who don't know, I do stand-up comedy. And I did a little tour. Listen, let me tell you how this tour even came to be. This tour came to be because a fella reached out to me named Sean Flannery. Another flan boy. I love another flan man. Flan man, we can do it like no one can. Bomb. So Flan man hits me up and says he's doing a pilot of a pilot version, taping of this this show that he does, a live show that he does, and a podcast that he did with the man in the box, CJ Sullivan. They do a show called The Blackout Diaries, and it's they do it in Chicago at a place called the Lincoln Lodge. Great club, I heard. I've never been. But they do it there. They decide to shoot a pilot. They're shooting a pilot of comics telling blackout stories. And they're going to try to sell it to a network and make it a show. They reached out to me to see if I would like to be a part of it. I said okay. That was months and months ago. Date is set. March 30th, I believe it was. And there we go. Now I got a trip planned to Chicago at the end of March. So I'm going to plan a little tour around it, see what I can't get going, put some other dates around it to make it more worth it for me, put a little more berries in that pie, if you know what I mean, and then we can fuck the pie. So I start putting some dates around this Chicago show, and it ended up being my Midwest Madness Tour 2025. About 10, maybe 10 cities, 9 cities. And a couple of them had multiple shows in a night. Sometimes that was necessary, sometimes that was not necessary. I'm looking at you, Dave Hayes. We love Dave. Will Dave make it into this episode? Who knows? Maybe this is a part 1. But after months and months of planning and, I post on Instagram, hey, I got these shows, and some other people reach out, hey, you want to add this, you want to add that? Lo and behold, we begin in Cincinnati. Well, my first show on this tour was in Indianapolis. But here's what I did, folks. I flew into Cincinnati. I took a red eye into Cincinnati, rented a car. First of all, I'm on one of these huge planes. Okay, some of these planes, I will say, are too fucking big. When a plane has 3 seats on each side and then 4 seats in the middle for fucking 10 seats across, and the plane is the size of a goddamn football stadium, why? What? We're all going, all these people are going from LA to Chicago tonight, overnight. 700 people need to go to Chicago overnight. What is everyone doing? Why is this plane so big? And of course, so I'm taking a red eye, layover in Chicago, then going to Cincinnati. I'll explain in a minute. And of course, getting 1,000 people onto one plane is a shit show, so we take off way late, and then I'm in the very back of the plane because I'm broke. I work at a movie theater, and though I am the no longer reigning, there is a new one, but I am the inaugural employee of the week and employee of the month. The reigning employee of the month is my boy Fisher Griffin, who is a laserhead. Made it to the Elk. What up, Fish? Congrats, Fish. Me and Fish, baby, back-to-back employees of the month, bitch. We run this shit. We make $18 an hour. My dollars an hour is half of my age. But anyway, so I'm broke, so I sit in the back of the plane, and the plane is late. The plane takes forever to take off. It weighs 1 billion pounds. And people take a really long time getting settled. And then, so we're late. I damn near miss my connection. I got to do one of those. They have to ask, okay, attention, because of the delay, I know there's a lot of people on this plane that need to hustle. I know there's a lot of people. I know there's 1,760 people on this plane right now. And a lot of those people, just by sheer statistics and happenstance, there's probably at least 400, 500, 600 people that are running late and need to get on another plane. Not everyone was just trying to get to Chicago at 5 in the morning. Most people actually have to get on a different plane to go somewhere else. And they go, can these people please raise their hands? And I gotta and then everyone raises their hand on this huge fucking plane. We're all looking at each other like, yeah, so we're all just gonna sprint to the front, huh? As soon as this thing lands, we're all just gonna start throwing elbows, aren't we? And I just hate that. I just don't want to do that. But yeah, I fucking weaseled my way up. I was one of those people. You gotta weasel your way up. I kept my hand raised the whole time going, please. Oh, there was an emergency on the plane. They asked if there was a doctor on the plane. I said, I have a podcast. The guy next to me, he was like, I don't know if they ever got a doctor or what, but there was fucking, people were hustling around. This fucking flight attendant went by with, this is the middle of the night, by the way. Flight attendant ran by with a defibrillator. I was like, ooh, we're getting a little defibrillator on here. I didn't see it. It happened away in the rich people part of the plane, probably row like 35. I was back in the low hundreds. I couldn't see what was going on, but the guy next to me was like, can I get up? He was in the middle. And I was like, yeah, you're a doctor? He goes, no, I just want to see it. I was like, okay. Then I watched him go up and he went to the bathroom area and just kind of like peeked around. He did go into the bathroom. He didn't just go up and peek it. He had some tact to him. He's like, yeah, I'll pretend to go to the bathroom. I think by that time the guy was already dead. Not much to see. But I make it. I fucking walk so fast through the airport. O'Hare. I think as an O apostrophe person, I should get some sort of special treatment at O'Hare. I should get to take one bone from the Brontosaurus every time. But I make it, then I got on a tiny little flight to Cincinnati. So I go to Cincinnati, rent a car, get to the rental car area. Could have sworn I reserved a car to rent. Nah. Nope. I'm going through my emails trying to find a fucking rental car reservation anywhere in the past couple months. And I'm like, where is it? I could have sworn I rented a car. And I guess I just didn't. And I had to just go up to individual. I was going to Hertz. I was going to Budget. I was going to Avis. And I'm going, hey, did I make a reservation here? I could have sworn I made a reservation, but I can't find the email. And everyone's just like, no, not with us. Nope, not with us. Finally, I just fucking made one with Sixt. What the hell is the name of that place? Sixt? Do you know that is just like Sext? Yeah. We'll sext you your receipt. Oh, you want an SUV? Just sext us anytime. We'll give you a super overpriced. Honestly, I did get an SUV. I got a Chevy Equinox. I know my dad used to have a Chevy Equinox, so I was very familiar with the Chevy Equinox. And same color, too. But it was the cheapest option. It was cheaper than a sedan or an economy car. I got, all right, fine, I'll just get this Chevy Equinox. And then pretty quickly realized this thing is not that great on gas, not as good as I'm used to. And I tried to, a couple days later, tried to return the Chevy or trade in the Chevy Equinox. At this point, I was in Chicago. That was a whole fucking ordeal. They go, yeah, we'll call you, we'll email you, we'll see if we can get you switched out into something smaller. Because, brother, I'm driving 3,922 miles was my final mileage that I drove. Not the final mileage of the car. That I drove on this trip. They sent me the receipt when I returned the car. 3,922, baby. Could that be a new record? I don't know, maybe. No, one time I drove from LA to Seattle and then back. That's probably the longest. You would think, I don't feel like looking at a map right now. I'm standing up. I'm not even sitting down for this episode. I'm standing up for you nasty little piggies. But I flew into Cincinnati, even though my first show was in Indianapolis. They're about an hour and a half apart. But I flew into Cincinnati just to be able to bang out a Cincinnati tourist video. That's right. We got a Cincy video coming. So that means I took a red eye to Cincinnati. Didn't have a rental car. Had to get a rental car, even though I thought I had one. And I was like, well, I hope I didn't just double pay. But I guess I'm just going to make a new reservation and then get this Chevy Equinox and then just start bopping around Cincinnati, making a tourist video. And then at the end of the day, I'll drive all the way to Indianapolis. Is there a show that night in Indianapolis? No, honey, no. Just a chill night, relax, and then the next night, Indianapolis. And how lucky am I get to wake up in Indianapolis, do an Indianapolis tourist video. That's right, you dirty little piggies. We got a Cincy, we got an Indianapolis coming. But so I'm filming this Cincinnati tourist video. Lo and behold, little did I know, this week was a fucking shit show, man. The airplane, I'll say it was too big. I get to Cincinnati, I don't have a rental car. I go to do my tourist video. It is the Cincinnati Reds home opener. And so they have a parade across the entire downtown of Cincinnati going to the stadium. And it's a full-ass, blown-ass parade. It's not just, I thought, oh, people are lining the streets. Maybe the players walk into and they give high fives and shit. No, it's a full parade with floats. Floats that big-ass floats. Floats that look like your mom, your big, fat, ugly mom. Just if you can imagine just your mom for a minute. This one, I'm talking to mostly just my haters right now. Picture your mom. That's what the floats look like. Big, huge pigs. And I mean, I walked down this. I got there before the parade started. I just saw people lining the streets. I thought, okay, there must be a Reds thing. There was the news was there. The news. I thought, oh, I'd be so sick if I can get in the background of the news as the tourist, wearing what I might say is my ugliest tourist hat to date. It's a Cincinnati Reds hat is what it is, but it just says Cincinnati in these giant letters that are off center. They go from the center of the hat to the side. Oh, it's so ugly. Can't wait to sell that one on eBay. That's going to fetch a hefty. I also went to a Reds game 2 weeks later with that hat. And I got an Ellie De La Cruz grand slam on tape during his bobblehead night. Only player, according to Google AI, that's ever happened for. Is that true? I don't know. Am I going to talk about that on this very episode? I don't know. Probably not. Seeing as I'm several minutes in and I'm still talking about, I haven't even gotten to the shows yet. But I'm doing this Cincinnati tourist video. And I go around downtown, I'm filming a bunch of shit, and then I come back and the full parade has broken out. And my car, it's a Chevy Equinox, it is on the other side of the parade. I gotta get across this parade. I'm panicking. I'm literally filming videos just to send to my friends, me at the parade going, hey, my car's on the other side of this parade. I didn't know what else to do. I had to just document it, send it to friends. Can you believe I'm going to get a parking ticket? And there is, I mean, it is a mob. People are crazy about this parade. People are shoulder to shoulder, ass to ass, rib cage to rib cage lining this. I could barely get through. But I saw a couple brave souls darting across. I just couldn't muster the strength. I didn't want to jump in front of these fucking majorettes. This school of young black majorettes. No, I'm not going to run across and knock over a 11-year-old black majorette. That's the last thing I want to start off this tour with. Can you imagine that on the news? A-list celebrity comedian Ryan O'Flanagan bowls over 11-year-old black majorette in Cincinnati. No, thank you. I don't need that headline again. I'm too old for that. But guess what happened, folks? I was waiting to cross, couldn't figure out when to cross, and then a horse took a shit. And a horse took a shit for a while, and then everyone was like cheering on the horse taking a shit, and the guy cleaning up the horse shit, and that was my move. And I sprinted across the parade. It was just one street, of course. And I get to the other side, and it is the same thing, shoulder to shoulder, rib to rib, ass to ass. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just standing there. Now I'm just facing all these people in the middle of this parade, and the horse is about ready to start going again. I don't know how to break through. I'm trying to, excuse me. I mean, I can't get through anywhere. And to make it worse, people are going, over here. And I kept thinking they were yelling to me like they had an opening, but they were just yelling at the people throwing candy at the parade. Over here. And I'm like, yeah? Oh, no. I finally got through, made it to my car, no ticket. Huh. But just wait till about a week and a half later when I would get a ticket. Oh, boy, do I have tales to tell from this bullshit trip. Mother effing Raymore, Missouri can kiss my white, hot ass. Anyway, I make it to the car. I wanted to try a couple of famed Cincinnati things. I tried well, first of all, I tried their Skyline chili. And I don't like chili, I don't think. I'm never like, oh, I want chili. Like, what even is chili? The fuck are you talking about? You got to try this chili. I'm like, try the chili? I have zero desire to eat chili. What's it, like beans and meat crushed up? The fuck are you talking about? I'll eat like if you have like a quesadilla or maybe like a cookie. I'll like pretty much 100% of the time be down for that. But what, it's just fucking like meat soup? I have no desire to, and that's such a thing too, the chili cook-off. Whose chili is better than whose chili? I don't really actually want to eat any of your chili. If you could have like a cook-off that was, let's say, for example, a quesadilla or maybe like a cookie or a brownie, for sure. I had one of each of those things on this trip. Let me tell you what. I gained like 6 pounds. I had McDonald's every single day. I got the app. Hey, I got the app. Way too late. I mean, I have spent, I'll say probably millions of dollars on McDonald's at this point over the past few years just from touring alone. It's the only time I eat McDonald's is when I'm on the road. It's so good when you're on the road. Because you know why? It's because it's so fucking convenient. Because it's so shitty. Because it stays in one piece. It's dry as fuck. Every sandwich stays in one. It doesn't go falling apart like a fresh burger, like an In-N-Out burger, even a Wendy's burger. It's just a little bit too fresh. It'll fall apart. You're getting lettuce on your shirt that's got mayonnaise on it. No. Walmart stays in one fucking block. It's not real meat. Or it is meat, but it can't be what they say. It's horse and clay. It's donkey meat and clay from the earth. I think the rumors are probably true that it's mule and clay. That's the special sauce. But anyway. So I tried this Skyline chili in Cincinnati. Oh my God. It is so good. It is so good. I was obsessed. I got it twice on the trip. It's also, they put it on this nice spaghetti, but it's not just the chili that's so good. They cover this chili and the spaghetti in this shredded cheese that is so soft. I've never felt cheese so soft. The texture of I felt like each bite I felt like I was kissing a woman's big juicy lips, but if her lips were cheese. Dude, it was so. You ever kiss someone with big juicy lips? Like let's say for example Matt Rife. You guys ever just like kiss Matt Rife? And his lips are just so fucking soft. Also, side note, at the theater, at the movie theater I work at, it'll probably happen after this podcast or before this podcast comes out. But we're having a special event at my movie theater because there's so many tickets sold for the Matt Rife show at the Laugh Factory that they are having spillover crowd. We're allowing people to come watch a live stream of the Matt Rife show because we're right across from the Laugh Factory. And I am a comedian and I work at this movie theater. That's going to be pretty brutal for me. But the Skyline chili is like the cheese version of kissing Matt Rife's big, juicy, soft lips. It was phenomenal. I also went to the Cincinnati Zoo because they have that famous hippo, Fiona. And so I went there for the tourist video. The tourist famously hates hippopotamuses, nasty hippopotamuses, kind of part of his brand. He loves dinosaurs. He hates hippopotamuses. He likes asses. He hates, I don't know, Croatians. We haven't gotten there yet. I haven't found enough stuff that he hates. Maybe he'll start hating Croatians. I think someone needs to take them down a peg. But I go to the zoo and I go to the famous hippopotamus exhibit, and it's pathetic. This is like the most famous living zoo animal. The most famous is probably Harambe, but the most famous living zoo animal, I think. Like as far as like the animal's name, gotta be Fiona, the hippo from the Cincinnati Zoo. Everyone knows Fiona. She was viral. Or maybe who's that little hippo now? Moo Dang, maybe Moo Dang. Yeah, it's probably more famous. There was like that sneezing panda, but no one knows that sneezing panda's name. It was Jamarcus, by the way. Yeah, Asian. Go figure. Chinese. Pandas are. I didn't name it. But terrible exhibit. Mother hippo. Fiona's still growing. I think Fiona has a sister now. But yeah, they just swim around in this tank. It's a pretty small area they have. They have a little bit of land to walk around on and like a little bit of water to swim in. And there's fish in the water. And the water is filled with shit. There's just balls of shit. And they just shit in the water. You guys have been seeing hippos shit. There's a famous zoo animal. Remember that hippo that was like shit and then If you haven't seen it, YouTube hippo farts. Honestly, if you just hippo farts, it's for sure the first one that's going to come up. It's one of the most famous farts of all time. A hippo, and I don't know if they just do this when they fart or shit, but this hippo farted and shitted at the same time. And well, it was shitting, but it had a sound to it, of course. And its tail was just fully propellering, windshield wiper super fast back and forth as the shit was coming out, and its tail just flings shit everywhere like a wild rogue propeller. It's fucking it's so hot. It is very, very sexy. Yeah, look up hippo. Just YouTube hippo farting and shitting. Top 10 hippos, farts, and shits. It's got to be on there. So yeah, hippos are disgusting. That sucks, whoever has to clean the fucking hippo thing. And they're dangerous as hell. They kill more humans than any other horse. That's a terrible job. Who's got the hippos today? Jerry. Jerry! You have fun cleaning up. It's covered in shit, and they're trying to kill you. Who's in that tank? My ex-wife? No, I've never been married, and I don't think I've ever really been loved. But, so I do the whole Cincinnati video, drive all the way to Indianapolis just to have a nice night's sleep and then wake up. And I get to my Indianapolis hotel. Indianapolis is an interesting town. It's pretty built up. So a lot of these towns really feel like you're in you can kind of get lost in the skyscrapers and feel like you're in like a pretty big city. Chicago is definitely like that. LA doesn't have that quite as much. Our downtown, our built up area is like pretty small. And it definitely doesn't feel like New York. But let me tell you, Indianapolis feels like New York to me, baby. I got to my hotel, and they let you know as soon as you walk in, hey, buddy, don't drink the water. Do not brush your teeth with the water. Do not drink the water. We will provide water upon check-in. I mean, you walk in, there's like a sign right on the check-in desk. Hey, don't drink the water. Then the woman at the front desk tells you, hey, don't drink the water. A water main has burst, and they're working on it. And she goes, they said it would be done they said it would just take a few hours, but now they're saying it's not going to be done until Saturday, which is so Indiana. And I said, you're telling me, sister, this fucking shithole. Gives you 3 waters. You get to the hotel room. You've gotten a warning at the desk. You've gotten a warning from the woman at the desk. And now I walk into my room. I close the door. Paper comes flying under the door. Not 30 seconds after I entered the door. It's another notice. Don't drink the water. I get a text message. Hey, this is whatever in. Do not drink the water. Do not brush your teeth with the water. People are fucking dying from this water, apparently. And I hate. If you're going to tell me I'm going to brush my teeth by pouring a bottle of water onto the toothbrush, I'm just going to not brush my teeth. You think I'm going to brush my teeth with a bottle of water pouring it onto my toothbrush? How bad do you think I want to brush my teeth? And Laserheads, you know I've been brushing my teeth with my left hand. You guys know that. You guys know me so well. Yeah, I'm not brushing my teeth with my left hand with a bottle of water. But let me tell you, I'm going to have to, because I'm going to need to pour that bottle of water with my right hand. What's more important for your dominant hand? To be holding the toothbrush with the toothpaste, or to be pouring a bottle of water? I mean, it's something to think about. I'll never know. I just didn't brush my teeth for 2 days. There was a full-blown monster truck in the parking lot. I love that. I feel very safe. I parked next to the monster truck. I said, you and me, buddy. The monster truck and the Chevy Equinox against the world. And the next day, I did an Indianapolis tourist video. And that was absolutely fine. Things of note from Indianapolis? Oh, well, I'll tell you this. The fucking Sweet 16 was in town. And Purdue, which is an Indiana school, was playing that night, the night of my show in Indianapolis. And they were playing down the fucking street. at Lucas Oil Stadium, which is a crazy place to have a basketball game, and they need to stop doing that. It's fucking weird. Have basketball at basketball places. It's weird to watch. But anyway, just because the Sweet 16 was in town and Purdue played a real close one. Also, the Purdue game started at 10 o'clock. My show was actually long over by the time. I mean, these games start. It's crazy to me when, like, I mean, it makes sense. When you're on the West Coast and the Dodgers will be on, the Lakers will be on at 7 o'clock, and you're like, yeah, it's a normal time for a game to start. It's weird for the people on the East Coast that, yeah, you got to stay up real late if you want to watch, like, the West Coast games. But I remember loving that when I was young, when I lived there. I lived on the East Coast when I was young. But I remember the Red Sox would be playing, like, the Oakland A's or something, or the Angels, and the game would come on at 10 p.m., and that was pre-pitch clock, so those games would go to fucking 1, 2 a.m. I used to love that. Little night owl rye back in the day. It was fun. Family's all asleep. I'm just watching Young Kim mow down these Oakland A's. But yeah, it's that makes sense when the game is on the West Coast. But this game was in Indianapolis, and it started at 10 p.m., which is so weird to me. So the game went till like past midnight, and these poor players and they're young, they're in college, they need their sleep. They love college and they love studying and learning. That's why they're in college. They're forced to play basketball. These guys really just want to get back to class, and they're gonna have class pretty soon. They're in college. These poor kids. And they got to play past midnight. Purdue loses a heartbreaker. I decided to go. Let me tell you about this was all after my show. My show was at the tourist video was fine. I don't know. It was a little annoying getting around because of the Sweet 16 was in town, but not really. My show, I guess I would say probably the least attended show of the whole tour, which was actually great. 13 people came out. This random ass dude is a random. I mean, I reach out to when I'm booking my own tours now. I fired my agent's ass, and it's clearly going well. But yeah, I reached out to the clubs. I reached out to Helium, and I go, hey, I recorded my album there, and I'm going to be in the area. I would love to come back do a show in your small room, your 40-person room. That's all I need. No response. Clubs don't really respond to just comedian emails. They'll respond to like if you're an agent. But alas, look what I've done. So when I book these tours, it's a lot of just Googling this city, comedy show. This city, comedy show, bar. This city, comedy show, brewery. This city, comedy, Friday night. Just trying to find something. And I can vet better. I can vet better certainly than my last agent, I'll tell you that. I can tell what places usually kind of have an idea of what's going on. Because let me tell you, Lord knows, you guys remember back in the day, showing up to venues, they didn't even know that I needed a microphone, shit like that. If I'm doing it myself, I can make sure that I think this is going to be mostly pretty fun. I'm not walking into any shitty, crazy disasters, and I make sure to check what the deal is before I go. Do you have other comics? Do you pay them? Should I pay them? Ba-ba-da-ba. Do you do comedy shows regularly? So I end up at this place called Monsters, Inc., which is a wild, wild venue. There's a woman who owns a building, a place that is just filled. It's 2 stories. There's the main level you walk into. There's a bar and some seating and a little event, the little area for if they set up seats for the comedy show, and a little stage. And then you go downstairs and it's like multiple rooms, and everything is filled with like monsters. That she makes these monsters. She builds monsters like for movies. So it's like puppets and whatever, mannequin type shit, crazy that are some very detailed. There's a big Beetlejuice. There's all this monster shit. I mean, it's just everywhere, wall to wall stuff. You can buy stuff, and there's a bar. It's a really cool spot. But 13 people came out, and one of them was just a friend of the owner. She came out because she's a friend of the owner. So I got 12 people out, including my two friends that came all the way from Champaign, a 2-hour drive. I met plenty of people on this tour that drove like multiple hours to see me. And I always do feel bad. And if you're thinking about doing that, if you're listening to this podcast, thinking about doing that, I don't recommend it. I'm not that funny. I appreciate that you're a fan. I wouldn't say it's worth it to drive like 3 hours. But these sweet, sweet babes, they drove all the way from Champaign. Sometimes I feel bad, especially like this. In this instance, I for sure did. Because it was a weird venue, weird situation, and just overall not a great show. It was, there were two of 13 people there. That's not what I want you to drive. I don't want you to drive 2 hours to be for you to be 18% of the crowd. I always do feel bad about that. But other people drove really far to other shows, and it was great. And I was like, yeah, it was totally worth it. I would drive 3 hours to see someone that I really loved, and it was a really good show. This was not that. But hey, so glad they came out and ordered a cameo. Refused to just take any free merch. I said, you came all the way from Champaign. Please take some merch. They go, Ryan, we listened to your set, brother. Take some money. Jesus Christ. Yeah, my life's fucked. I have been talking about my new shitty car and my movie theater job. Real just down and out set these past couple of weeks. But that's what the people like. They want to see the real Rye. And hey, we laugh about it, can't we? Can't we laugh about my 2000 Volvo S70? Boy, it was nice driving a rental car for a couple of weeks. And then I just got back to town and I did drive my 2000 Volvo S70 just to the grocery store. Man, it is hard to drive that fucking car. I forgot the brakes. There's no brakes. There's no brakes. The car is a half an inch above the ground. The seat is just on the bottom of the car, man. I mean, it is low. It got really dirty. I don't know how it got so dirty. I guess when I was gone, my neighbors were throwing dirt on it. I told them not to do that. But sometimes when I go out of town, my neighbors just come home with shovels and trivels of dirt, and they throw dirt on it, just as like a prank. All my neighbors have trivels, so they were just throwing trivels and spades of dirt onto my car. It's just kind of just like a funny thing we do. But the show was okay. After the show, what happened after the show? Indianapolis. Did I do a damn thing? I don't think so. Did I go out in Indianapolis? No, I think I just like... Oh, yeah, I tried to go downtown. I figured it'd be hopping because that's where the Sweet 16 was. But it was so busy, I had to bail and get out of there. I couldn't even fucking drive down there. So I went all the way to some dive bar, like way out in the boonies, and just me and a bunch of just old folks watching the Purdue game. That was kind of fun. And then I went home, and then it was time. So at both of these shows, I was able to practice my big story I was going to do. I've been working on this. So I had to do this storytelling show. It's now time for the storytelling show. The show of which this whole tour was born. And I told this, you guys know this story. If you haven't, go back and listen to my episode called The Tulsa Story. It's a real story about me getting too damn high and frankly a bit drunk. And just forgetting where my car was. And then getting the police involved because I forgot where my car was. But when I told that story, it was about a half hour long on the podcast. So I was spending a few days before the tour just trying to get it down. Got it down to maybe 12, 13. They wanted ideally 10, but literally like the day before the taping, the guy who texted me was like, hey, so yes, we want it like, try to keep it under 12. As long as it's under 15. I was like, oh, thank God. I was trying to get it closer to 10, and I was running it in my apartment over and over, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just going to be fucking barreling through this story. There's no time for laughter. But once he gave me a little leeway, I felt much better. But this show, the storytelling show, was the third show on this tour. I only had Monsters, Inc. Oh, why am I skipping this? I forgot to tell you about Cincinnati. All right, rewind. We'll get to that in a minute. After Indianapolis, I go back to Cincinnati. That's how weird I am. Aren't I such a weird little weasel? I fly into Cincinnati just to film the video. Go to Indianapolis. And you're thinking to yourself, why not just go to Indianapolis, film a video, then go to Cincinnati and do the... Because I don't want to fucking have to film. Ideally, I would love to not have to film a fucking video all day and then have to do a show at night. And especially if it includes like having to drive from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. It's only about an hour and a half. And then do a video and then do 2 shows. That was a 2-show night. So no. I'm not doing that. So I flew into Cincy first, did the video, drive to Indy, do the video, do the show. Now all I have to do on this Saturday is simply drive to Cincinnati and simply do my 2 shows. Fucking awesome, awesome shows. Very cool venue called The Comet. Now this is a very rare situation in which I have to do 2 shows in a night, which I do not like doing. It's just, it's a lot of work. And I love when shows are over, and I love going over and meeting people, selling my merch, taking pictures, meeting laser heads. Sometimes I'll even meet some laser heads. They'll go, hey, you made it to the Elk. Ho, ho, ho! You get a free sticker. I'm going to get made it to the Elk stickers. That's what I got to do. Those will sell like hotcakes. I'll sell 8 or 9 of those in my life. But this place, The Comet, it's in a really cool part of Cincinnati called the North Side, which is in North Cincinnati, and it's fucking sick. They got these trees lining the street. The street is called Hamilton Ave, I think, and the venue is on there. But down the street, it's just a strip of like bars and cool stuff. And these trees, I don't know if they're willow blossoms. They're these beautiful white willow blossom type trees that just line the street. It's beautiful. And I'm driving to the show and I'm filming it. Maybe I'll put a picture of it on my, when I post this on Insta. I'll do a slide of pictures. I'll include some indie stuff. And I'm definitely going to include this sweet video of these very cool trees. I get to the venue, cool bar with a separate side room, about the same size. And who knows, you can fit, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 people in there. 2 sold out shows, bitch. That's what was nice about Indianapolis. Yes, only 13 people came, but I want to ease in. I have not headlined since October or November. I was nervous, dude. I had to take a couple days off of work before I did this tour just so I could have some time to myself to like run my joke. I forget my jokes. And I have a couple new ones. Like I have never done those in front of people, so I needed some time. And I was nervous as hell. I was pretty anxious for this tour. I was just like, the couple weeks leading up to this tour, I was just like, oh, I gotta do that fucking tour, man. I haven't headlined in so long. I'm gonna be so rusty. It's gonna be brutal. But then that first show only had 13 people, and that was honestly pretty ideal. This could go. I don't care how this goes. This could go horribly, and you know who's that's gonna affect? 13 people. Who gives a shit? I can bomb. I didn't. It was fine. But it was a great little way to ease back in. And thank you to everyone who came to that show and didn't go to see the NCAA tournament. That's really what helped. All those people that were at that tournament probably were going to come to my show at Monsters, Inc. Oh, by the way, when I was in Indianapolis doing my tourist video, I ran into this comic that I knew. I went into a bar to get lunch, and I see this comic, Alex, who I knew. He opened for me, I think, when I did my, or at least he was working at the club or something, when I did my, recorded my album. I remember him from that. I was like, oh, shit, Alex, what's up, dude? And he was like, yeah, I saw you're in town. He goes, why are you performing at Monsters, Inc.? I was like, I don't know, dude. I reached out to comedy clubs, and then they don't respond. And then I just Google Indianapolis comedy night. And then this place popped up. All right, so I hit them up, and they got right back to me. It was awesome. But yeah, not a lot of people came, and it was a door deal. So I didn't make shit. I lost money on that day, I think. Or maybe I made a little bit because of my merch. But yeah, my hotel cost more than what I made for that show. So yikes. But that's okay, that happens. And I paid the other comics very little. These poor fools. Yeah, I'll throw you a couple bones. But anyway, then I go to Cincinnati. These 2 shows are fucking awesome. They're sold out. So coming off of this weird-ass 13-person show to a double sold-out night, and the shows were sick. I felt so much better. And go out on the town after. Oh, this couple came. This couple drove 3 hours to see me. I met multiple couples this night drove 3 hours to see me. And other people, too. Shout out to Ryan Collins, who I met at the Ryan Rave in L.A., lives in Columbus, Ohio, and whenever I perform in Ohio, he comes to see me. I think he drove about 3 hours to come see me. Love a little. Ryan's got to stick together. Little Kings unite. He drove 3 hours. I met several people that drove. All separately drove so far. Specifically to come to the Cincinnati show. I mean, several of these cities had people driving, but this one was pretty crazy. A lot of people came from afar. I went out with this couple that night that I knew from Instagram. They always like and comment on my shit, and they also get each other cameos, so I knew their names. And I'm like, oh shit, I've seen you guys on Instagram and on Cameo. Nice to meet you guys finally. And we went out on the town, the 3 of us, me and this couple, after the second show. And I made bank at these shows because this was a door deal too. And if I do a door deal and it's 2 sold-out shows, Daddy's rich. And Daddy needs money because Daddy works at a movie theater. And though he is the inaugural employee of the month, they don't give you a raise or anything. They just give you a $15 gift card to where you work, which I spent on a pizza and mozzarella bites, mac and cheese bites, rather. Let me tell you, too much cheese. Anyway, made bank, went out on the town. Don't remember shit, dude. That may have been the drunkest of this entire tour. Got fucking hammered out in, I don't remember, I have no idea where we went. I don't really remember leaving where the comedy show happened, to be honest with you. I vaguely remember we Ubered somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, have a wonderful night. And just you wait, because this is going to come into play. It's definitely not going to be this episode. We're still in Cincinnati, and we're fucking 47 minutes in. But just wait till the next episode. That's good. This seems like it's going to be like a 5-parter, just the way I take a really long time to tell stories. Now you can see why it was so hard to get me down from that half-hour-long story into a 10-minute. Boy, oh boy, was that a process. We go out on the town, have a wonderful night out on the town. Some people came all the way from Detroit. Golly, man. I was trying to get a Detroit show. I was going to be in the Midwest. It's a Midwest tour. I was recently looking at a list of U.S. cities by population. I thought to myself, I wonder what the biggest city is in the U.S. that I've never been to. And it's El Paso. That was kind of disappointing. But interesting. I guess El Paso is fucking huge. But I'm like, yeah, I'm fine not going. I did drive through it once. I got gas in El Gaso. I remember they had a big old boot barn. Yeah, it was huge. I drove through it, but I didn't experience El Paso. But I was thinking, but then I went down and I was like, okay, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. I'm talking about what's like the biggest city that I would ever maybe go to sometime. That's like a real city that you've heard of and ever think about. And that was Detroit. I'm like, oh yeah, Detroit. They have 4 major sports teams. That's a real city. No offense, El Paso. You got UTEP. Yeah, I'll come to El Paso someday. Maybe I'll do a little show at UTEP. But yeah, I was trying to get to Detroit. This guy reached out to me a couple of years ago. Drag guy, some sort of a gay drag situation. He goes, "Hey, you want to do a comedy show at this gay drag situation bar I have? I'm one of those gay drag fellas. If you want to do a comedy show here and not feel super uncomfortable or anything." I said, "Yeah, man, let me hit you up when I'm in the area." And I did. I said, "Hey, are you that gay drag fella? I'm gonna be in the Midwest, looking to do a show in Detroit. You want to do some sort of a? We can have like a gay bash." I meant just like a party. He goes, "Bro, I'm in Florida now. I like pussy now." He's gone. I reached out to several Detroit places. Nothing. But anyway, so people have to come all the way from Detroit to goddamn Cincinnati. Anywho, wild night. So that was okay. So that's now. So I get 3 attempts. Yeah. So I got 3 tries to tell my blackout story. 1 show in Indianapolis, and then 2 shows in Cincinnati that night. So now, okay. So that's right. So I now go to. It's now Sunday. It's now Sunday, folks. March 30th. I drive to Chicago. It's a few hours. Chicago is one of the most beautiful skylines to come into view. Skylines are just fucking cool, aren't they? Have you ever seen a skyline come into view and been like, boo? They're always cool. Cincinnati skyline, beautiful. That's why they make the skyline chili. Cool ass skyline. Even St. Louis, which fucking sucks, has that cool ass arch. Without that arch, that skyline does kind of suck. But skylines are just cool. Even in LA, like our downtown skylines, it's cool, but it's just like such a big city, it kind of just gets lost. But you go up to fucking Glendale, damn, you go to Century City, you drive by that Century City skyline, you go, damn, that's as big as fucking El Paso. No, I'm kidding, El Paso. I'm gonna do a show at UTEP. You guys want to hear me blow my nose? I'll get all that poop out. I get so much fucking poop in my nose during the spring. Go to Cincinnati. This is a pilot taping. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know who is on the show. I just know I'm going to tell this story. I don't know what the venue is. I just know I'm going to tell a story. It's going to be like 12 minutes, and that's it. The guy running it, shout out to Sean Flannery and Jonah Jerkins, who had me and paid me. Thank you. And they were just very casual about it. They were like, yeah, just tell a story about getting blacked out or whatever you want. But it's called The Blackout Diaries, and they're trying to pitch it as a show where comedians go on and tell a story, a drinking story, ideally. Mine was like smoking. It was both. I was smoking and drinking. I harped more on the smoking because I did such a dumb, weird thing. It was just like weird. It wasn't like a drunk thing to do. It was like a very high thing. But I was doing both and trying to drive my car. Anywho, I told a getting fucked up story. Megan Gailey told a getting fucked up story, a hilarious getting fucked up story. She gets drunk and jumps in a river with Pat McAfee. Speaking of Indianapolis, she's from Indianapolis. And she partied with Pat McAfee. It's a wild story. It was on the news. It was wild. He got in trouble. He was wasted in the river. But yeah, it was a great. So it was 5 comics. I did the early show. Oh man, I love getting stuff over with. If you have an option of me getting on the early show or the late show, get me on the early show. Because I'm just nervous. I'm just like an anxious, nervous guy. I like performing, but I love being done. A whole lot more than I like being about to go. So I did I think it was a 5 p.m. show, which was a little crazy. They needed me there like 3:30 for hair and makeup. Not that I need it. I'm perfect. But they put me on the early show, and I was driving 4 hours from Cincinnati. So I thought it was a little odd, which I did let him know. I am driving from Cincinnati, and he was like, yeah, I'll put you on the 5 p.m. You can check into your hotel at 3. shower in 5 minutes, and then haul ass to this, which is exactly what I did. They would not let me check into this fucking hotel early. I was like, please, I gotta shower and I gotta get to a fucking taping. I gotta like iron my shirt. They would not let me check in at the Hotel Lincoln. I was just sleeping, dude. I got there nice and early to see if like maybe if I get there super early, they'll be like, all right, this guy's fucking desperate. Let's let him check in. Now they don't do that. I fucking laid down and I slept on their fucking 8-inch wide bench that they have in the lobby, hoping someone will come shake me. Sir, please, sir, wake up. Your room is ready, sir. Nope. They checked me in, must have been 2:45. Some horseshit time like that. Get upstairs, take the fastest shower of my life. 9 seconds. Wash my ass, blow the poop out my nose. Head to the venue. Beautiful venue. It looks amazing on tape. It's like a very swanky, cool, weird bar, I guess, like event space. It's just like huge. I don't really understand what it is in the other times, but it's this beautiful place to shoot like a special with a nice big ass huge stage. And there's a bar behind the stage, and they have actual bartenders actually working at the actual bar behind the stage, behind you performing. They're going to be blurry, I would hope, in the taping. But they had people sitting back there too. They were like, just be quiet. You're going to be behind the performer in this taping. That was a little odd. But my story went great. It's like, it's a story. It's not a set for like stand-up. But I did end up using it at every single show I did, because it's fucking 15 minutes long. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. I can just do like a half-hour set and then just go into autopilot and tell this fucking story. That's like new and fun to tell because it's new to tell. So I did that the whole rest of the tour. 2 more weeks, I would close with this story because it has a crazy ending that gets a big applause break. It's wild. It's a pretty interesting story. And I got it down to 15 minutes, folks. Got it down to about 12, 13 for the taping. But once I got a little loose, I can really stretch that baby out. I can get silly with it. But my set goes pretty well. People were like, good story. I got a shout out. I went to the green room after, and I was like sitting down eating the most delicious burger. Smash burgers over regular burgers all day, every day. They are the double stuffed Oreos of burgers. And by that I mean it should be the standard. Smash burgers should be the standard burger. If you're making me a burger on the grill, hey, smash it. Press it down for me, please. Easier to eat, tastes better, juicier, more flavorful. Get a little crispy burn on the end. Oh, eat my ass. Whoops. I didn't mean to say that. But I'm eating a smash burger, and this girl comes up. This one will be for the Dead Kevin fans. You'll appreciate this. This girl kneels next to me. She goes, hey, I'm sorry. I know you're eating. Sorry. I just wanted to say to you real quick. And then she fucking winds up. She takes a big-ass breath. She's like on her knee. She goes, who bought this Red Bull? Which is a Dead Kevin reference. Dead Kevin is my sketch group. That was from a sketch in 2012 that she referenced. And it was incredible. It was one of my favorite moments of this whole trip and maybe my whole life. I thought she was going to say a New Girl reference or an overly excited tourist, and to hit me with who bought this Red Bull, man, that made my day. We took a picture. So that was really nice. And then so my taping is over. The late taping begins. When I checked into the Hotel Lincoln, although they didn't let me check in early, bunch of rat-fink bastard whores, they did give me a ticket to the bar on the roof for one free drink. And I'm only staying there for a night, so I'm like, brother, I gotta get this drink at some point. So after my set is over and it's 8 o'clock, I tell the hosts and The guys running it. I'm like, hey, they're like, you want to stay and stay for the late show and hang out? I'm like, I'm going to go back all the way back to my hotel, which is fucking not super close, because I got a drink ticket. So I'm going to go get a drink at the roof. That's how broke I am. I have to. Financially, it's the fiscally responsible thing to do. I got to go get this drink. I went all the way back to my hotel. Got a drink from one of the rudest bartenders. This guy was a fucking dweeb-ass bitch. Crack a smile, you fucking prick. He was so unhappy to give me a single IPA. There's no one up here, dude. Sorry your life sucks. I work at a movie theater, and yes, I was the inaugural employee of the week and the inaugural employee of the month. Yes, I got a $15 gift card to where I work. But still, working sucks. Get me an IPA, you vacant, vapid twerp. Have an IPA, go down to my room, take a quick nap, and then we're going out on the town. Everyone who was at the late show, all the guys who put the show together, everyone, a whole bunch of comics and friends, and they're all going to some bar. I go, I'll meet you guys at the bar. We go to the bar. I must have had 15 shots of Malort this night. Is Malort disgusting? Yeah. Oh, I don't want it. It's disgusting. What the hell? I know that Malort is disgusting. That's not the point. Nothing is more annoying to me than when I want to give you a shot of Malort and you say, no, I don't want to do a shot of Malort because it's disgusting. Yeah, that's not the point. You think Jack wants to watch Captain America Brave New Worlds because it's so good? No. It's one of those things that you do when you're him. When you're me, you drink the disgusting local thing. You be a tourist. And it is disgusting. The audacity, I kept saying that, the audacity of Malort to sell that product. I love it. They go, hey, this is our, you're like, what, is it whiskey? They're like, no, it's a digestive liqueur. And you just drink it, and everyone's like, oh, that's disgusting. And they're like, yeah, it's disgusting. That's going to be $10 for that swig. And you go, all right, I'll do 30 of them. The bars were open until 4 a.m. that night. And it's me and all the people from the show, and we're celebrating. We shot a whole pilot. Also, this pilot's going to be half the set, and then half, like, they're going to animate the story with puppets. Oh, I'm so stoked for it. It's going to be sick. So it's not going to be out for a while, I'd imagine. But man, oh man, I drank so much Malort. Still, I would say didn't get as drunk as Cincinnati night. Probably because it was the next night. So that's now 2 nights in a row. Good God. That is a big problem of mine on the road. I celebrate. If you're driving 3 hours to see me, I'm going to go get drinks with you for sure if you want. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go back to my hotel where I can't drink the water or I'll die. No, I'm going to go out with you and drink. Chicago, shows are over. We're celebrating. Let's see if I wrote any notes. Did I meet anyone interesting? Sometimes I put little notes in my phone. Literally says Chicago. It says taping and then Malort all night. That's right. Gosh, dude. Some of these notes, I'm like, why would I talk about? For Indy, I put Wendy's wrong order. Yeah, I went to Wendy's and they gave me the wrong order. I thought that was interesting. This was 3 weeks ago. This was such a long tour. I don't remember half of this shit. But I drank Malort all night. The next night was a Monday night show at Zany's. This will be the last one I talk about. I got to end this episode. This is going to be part 1 of probably fucking 4. I had a show at Zany's, a historic club in Old Town Chicago. Talk about a fucking, some clubs don't even respond to you. It is so damn hard to book your own comedy tour when you're at my level. And I love being at this. I want to be at this level. I like this, where I'm at right now. I don't really want to be selling out like theaters and shit. That sounds so terrifying to me, and I don't believe in myself enough to like want to do that. I'll just be like, I'm gonna fucking bomb. I'm gonna bomb in front of 5,000 people. That's gonna be awful. I like little room, 60 to 100 person crowds or less. Lord knows I had a couple crowds in the teens on this, and that's fun too. But I like being middling. It's an area I'm not sure how long I can ride. You're either gonna go up or you're gonna go down. It's hard to ride the middle. I don't know. I say that. Plenty of comics ride the middle for 40 years. But like where I'm at right now, as far as the shows I'm doing and the crowds that are coming out, is my comfort zone. That's also all I've done. So of course it's gonna be my comfort zone. But I like it. And in Chicago, it was a Monday night, and my last agent, whom's ass I fired, pretty much refused to try to get me Monday night shows. He was like, I'll try to book you Wednesday through Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, there's just nothing happening. Are you sure? Because I got a show at Zany's, and it's so damn hard to book show, especially at clubs. Most don't respond, but Zany's responded to me. They were so nice right away. Also, I will say Zany is a chain, and Zany's in Nashville is maybe my favorite club I've ever done. That was like, they have a mezzanine. I also went there when I was like peaking with overly excited tourists, and it was packed. It was like so many people there, and at the end they gave me like a standing ovation. It was fucking wild. And there's a mezzanine, and they gave me a standing ovation in the fucking mezzanine, dude. That's never happened since. Whoops. That was a wave I didn't quite catch. But alas, I wait out in the ocean for the next one, right, folks? Anyway, Zany's on a Monday night with like 60 people came out, 60 or 70 people came out. And my friend Rob Gleason, who you might know as my friend Rob, and he played the newscaster in the Dead Kevin sketch Eyewitnesses, if you want to check that out. He was also in the Dead Kevin sketch Change the World, if you want to check that out. Old friend Rob moved to Chicago. Now he's got a kid on the way. By the time this episode comes out, the kid might be out. Rob might be a daddy. But he opened for me. Good to see Rob. And he killed it. Dude, this guy came from New York. The guy running the club that night, whose name is Robbie Flanagan. Spelled the same way as O'Flanagan is spelled, without the O. And of course, without the apostrophe. He texted me, hey, Ryan Flanagan, this is Robbie Flanagan. I'm the manager tonight. I was like, dude, our names are like bizarro versions of each other. Excited to meet you. And so Robbie Flanagan, what the hell was I about to say about Robbie Flanagan? Oh, yeah. Oh, he texted me and he goes, hey, it's Robbie Flanagan. There's a comic in town from New York tonight. Would it be cool if he does a guest spot, like 7-minute set? You just drop it in. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. It's your club. I love when headliners get treated like they run the whole thing, which they do, but I'm not going to like, yeah, if you want to throw people on that you like, I don't care. You tell me what to do. I'm never in charge, even though I was the inaugural employee of the month. And I really should be in charge over there, let's be honest. But I was like, yeah, let him. So this guy comes into the green room. It's me and Rob and the host. And this guy comes in. And he's like, hey, I'm in from New York. I'm dropping in on the show. Thanks for having me on the show. We're like, yeah, dude, what brings you to town? He goes, man, I'm doing a college in Kansas City. Kansas City is like a 9-hour drive. Let's say 8-hour drive from Chicago. He goes, yeah, I got a show in Kansas City tomorrow night. Flights from New York to Kansas City were so expensive. I flew into Chicago, and I'm just going to rent a car from Chicago, drive 8 hours to Kansas City tomorrow night, do the show, and then my flight out of Chicago is the next morning at 10 a.m. So I have to drive after this college show. And by the way, college shows fucking suck. I stopped doing them, I think, pre-COVID or shortly after COVID. I hate them. They're awful. He's going to do that. They do pay well. And then drive all the way back to Chicago through the night So in one day, he's going to drive 8 hours to Kansas City, do this show at some college outside of Kansas City, drive all the way back through the night, get on a plane, and go back. And I was like, dude, that's really stupid. That's the worst idea I've ever heard. I would just, if flights were, I would just, first of all, I would just pay for the fucking flight to Kansas City. I'd be like, fuck it, dude. It's expensive, but that's how you get to Kansas City. How else am I going to do this show if I don't get, I would never think, oh, I'll just fly to a place that's 8 hours away and rent a car and then drive and then immediately drive back. If I could not get to Kansas City via plane, I would cancel the show. Nothing is not nearly that worth it for me. I would never in my mind, unless it was like to see like a fucking dying relative or something, and I had, would I ever fly to a place and then have drive 8 hours just to get, no, cancel the show. Or fly into Kansas City and just say, fuck it, I'm going to like break even on this, but I already made a commitment. I probably should have bought this flight a long time ago. But the way colleges pay, I mean, he was getting paid well. He's got a good amount of followers. I was just blown away by that. And he goes, I'm built for this. I'm like, okay, dude. I'm not. I'm jacked. Well, not anymore. I just had McDonald's for 17 consecutive days. But I am not built for comedy like that, dude. I mean, people love doing comedy. Some comedians fucking love comedy. That's crazy to me. I like comedy. I think it's healthy. I think I have a healthy relationship. But dude, you're like, I just fucking love it, man. I'll fucking fly to Chicago, then drive 8 hours, do a show, and then drive. I mean, fuck. If you're paying me a shit ton of money, I'll do that. I love money. But golly, for a college show, that probably didn't go well. He got high out of his mind, too, this guy, before the Chicago show. This guy smokes like a motherfucker. I imagine that's probably how he got through. Just smoked an entire joint and then drove 8 hours. He was awake, terrified, stuck in his own brain, thinking about the color of stars and shit. Went out on the town, had a great night on the town in Chi-Town, more Malort. Kind of addicted to Malort. Oh, and then, after the show, new egg just dropped. Shout out to superfan Caitlin. Speaking of people that drive far to see me, all the way from Peoria to Chicago. She's seen me at many shows, and she always, as you should, she always brings me a gift, a Fabergé egg or a size medium t-shirt. If you're coming to see me and want to give me a gift, hey, bring me a Fabergé egg. Bring me anything Panthers, a cool hat, or a size medium t-shirt. Or some food. A nice homemade meal in a Tupperware. Or some cookies. And a quesadilla. So thank you, Caitlin. I'm going to share a picture of this. Oh, it's one of my top eggs. It's a really good egg. Quite literally. Oh, shoot. Do I have any sponsors? Hold on. Let me get my phone. I need to see if I got any sponsors this week. Guys, just hold on. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, I'm back. I think I may have had some sponsors. I've got to. First of all, thank you to everyone who came to the shows and bought my merch. You guys are sponsors. I'm going to call you guys honorary sponsors. Not enough of you bought merch. I did try to pack all of. I flew out there with a suitcase and then a separate duffel bag just with merch in it. I flew with two, but checked them both. And then on the way back, I thought I had made enough of a dent in the merch to squeeze it all into my suitcase. Boy, was that an ordeal. I think I broke my suitcase. I think the zipper's fucked. Do I have... Yes, Jordan Dietscha. Diet she. Jordan is a diet she. I also made a note to tell everyone that I got a gift card to the movie theater for being the employee of the month. Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Yeah, I did that one. Didn't have to remind myself of that one. But thank you to Jordan Dietscha. I love you. I love you. If you want to be a sponsor of the podcast, just Venmo me at Ryan O'Flan. Venmo me, let's say $40. You know what? Make it 50. Hey, if you Venmo me a shit ton of money, I'll talk about you for 20 minutes straight. Nah. And of course, all my old sponsors: Robert Edelman, Dan Whiteman, Ryan Morris, The Coin Puss, Barb, Chris, AJV Cleaners, and Salt and Vinegar Chips. And now we're adding Jordan Dietschy. Jordan Dietschy. You sound German, brother. And thank you. We love this is a pro-Germany podcast and an anti-Mormon podcast, as you all know. So thank you to all my sponsors. Anyway, where was I? Chicago. Had a lovely night. That was a Monday night, a nice fun Monday. And then before you know it, the clock strikes midnight, and then it's April 1st, April Fool's Day. And the tour has only just begun. But that is where part 1 of the March Madness tour laser show episode will come to an end. Yes, it's going to be a few parts. We've only done like 4 shows. Hey, 5 shows. But yeah, the first week was pretty wild. I'll continue more with the rest of the first week. Up next, we got Eau Claire. Then we're going back to Milwaukee. Okay, yeah. And then things really start to slow down. I could probably bang out I could probably make this a 2-part thing. Maybe 3. But I think I can do 2. I just got to stop talking. Nick and Jack are coming over right now. And I got to figure out what we're going to watch. Because Lord knows I am not watching Captain America Brave New World. What the fuck kind of suggestion was that? I'm offended. When he comes in, I'm going to slap him in the face. I'm going to slap him across the face. I say, we're watching Liam Neeson's The Gray. Maybe we'll watch a Top Gun Maverick. Christ God, I'll even watch Keanu Reeves' The Lake House. But I am not watching. You guys, if you're a laserhead, you've heard me talk shit about this movie before. Captain America Brave New World. I've seen it. I was in the movie theater. I saw it briefly. It looks terrible. People walked out of it. I have 1 day off this week. I come back to LA. Working closing shift. Tonight, night off, hanging with the boys. Tomorrow, closing shift. Day after that, 10 p.m. Day after that, 10 p.m. And then I go back to Peculiar, Missouri. Hey, if you're in Peculiar, get out. But I'm coming back to the Kansas City area, 420, Easter Sunday. Crazy time to have a show. I mean, people do stuff for Easter in the Midwest. They ain't no city folk. They believe in God. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for listening. This was episode 37. Let me know if you made it to the Elk. I'll include some of the pictures from this episode on my Instagram if you want to see some of the pictures of stuff I was talking about. And as always, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, and dance.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
Brio, brio, ya. Brio, brio, ya. Brio, brio, ya.